Hi everyone, I'm hopping in before the very start of this video for a little bit of just basically a note of caution, uh, kind of maybe look into it if it concerns you, but I want to give people a heads up because it's something I've learned as I've gotten more and more into using powdery type pastels, either the chalk pastel sticks or the pastel pencils or the pastel palettes. Um, so for some pastels, you may see something on the back that shows like a warning. It says something about a warning due to the state of California. And it talks about that there may be toxic chemicals that can cause cancer. And that does look scary when you look at it like that. I saw that and I started seeing, people talking about toxicity with chalk pastels in particular because of the powdery components of them, and it creates a lot of dust. And so I kind of went and looked around. I'm going to provide some links below to what I feel like are some pretty thorough explanations of what that means. Basically, these aren't, I think in the EU there are different standards, and these don't necessarily get labeled as toxic, but the state of California has a lot stricter requirements for certain colors. Certain companies may use chemicals that may be toxic, so like mercury can be found, and this was all new to me, but like mercury can be found in vermilion, I think. What was some of the others? Copper, cobalt, when you see like cobalt blue, cobalt yellow, chromium pigments, using actual cadmium, and nickel, and some of those can be toxic in different ways to a person when either ingested or inhaled excessively. And again, the concern just comes when you create a lot of, if you create a lot of dust with pastels. It's one of those things that, um, depending on what type of ingredients they use, it can be a bit of a risk. So I would say if you're looking into investing in pastels and that's something that's a concern to you, this is basically what I learned. So the Derwent pastel pencils if they're AP certified and they have like the little AP label on them, then that means there's no toxic materials that have been used. If it says CL, then that's the cautionary label that there could be toxic ingredients in small amounts, and just basically be cautious when using them. But if they're clear of toxic materials, they'll have an AP label. So the Derwent pastel pencils, this might be hard to see, but it's right there, the little AP label. So Derwents are good to go. When I looked on Amazon, I believe the Faber-Castell Pit pastels are also AP certified. As far as I could tell, the Rembrandts are not Rembrandts. I'm sorry, the Rembrandts, there are no Rembrandts. What am I doing? Okay. Derwent and Faber-Castell, it's early in the morning. Derwent and Faber-Castell seem to have the AP label. Stabilo, that's what I was looking at, because I was really eyeing the Stabilo pencils. I did not see an AP label on those. If you have them and they're actually on the tin or that has changed, of course, let me know in the comments. The Koh-i-Noors as well, I didn't see any sort of AP label on those. So again, if you've seen them, if you purchased them recently, I'm just trying to think of the more common ones. Probably the bigger concern, this is probably a product where you'll want to invest a little more in if you do want to try these, even just getting a small set like this, because I suspect that probably the cheaper, more budget-friendly pastels, either the soft pastels or pastel pencils, may be more likely to carry those. Now, at the end of the day, it may not matter to you. You may not use them that often. You can, of course, always use them if you are creating a lot of dust and you're sensitive to dust anyway. You could always wear a dust mask with them. Minimize like how much dust kicks up in your area by using like wet wipes constantly. You could have like a HEPA filter next to you. If it were just me, that's probably what I would do, and I just wouldn't worry about the labels. But with having the cats in the house and having my husband in the house, and if I'm planning on using these more like I think I am, I just want to err on the side of caution just because I have pets and stuff like that. Now, everybody's got a different decision to make there, and I don't judge anyone for deciding one way or another, whether, they need to take precautions or not. I'm just telling y'all what what I found, and I don't want anybody to panic and think, oh no, my pastels are going to kill me, because I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of things you can do to minimize the amount of dust that generates. So pastel pencils, like I said, Derwent, Faber-Castell, and of course they are the pricier ones, I realize. But like a lot of the budget labels and stuff, I would be really cautious, or at least just, check your product thoroughly before you order it to see if you can find out, whether or not that's important to you. I was a little concerned because I bought the Munyo pastels a few years back and I didn't know anything about this, but this set here that I purchased has the AP label on it. So I would just make sure the one you're purchasing does have that label on it. And whoop, there's nothing on the back there. And I mixed them all up. This looks like this is the original version. I know there's like an EU version. Yeah, I just mixed them all up. It's fine. You can see how often I use these. But they have English translated ones that I couldn't tell had the label on them, so maybe just get the original set. Now, one I know doesn't have it is the Jane Davenport's. The chilled palette, when I looked at it online, it actually had the California label in the description, which I appreciate. I didn't realize that, of course, when I took the label off. So these may have certain chemicals. I'm going to still use them because these chalk pastel pads like this generate the least amount of dust out of all three. The pencils I saw generated a lot of dust. Of course, the chalk sticks, a lot of dust. These, not so much. So I feel like I could use these on a minimal basis and not worry about it. And the Pebbles chalk I ordered also didn't have a label on it as far as I could tell. So, but because they're in a palette like this, the way I used them, I didn't generate a lot of dust with them. So I feel like my risk is minimal with these compared to, the other type of pastel products out there. Anyway, that was a big long explanation. Probably before I do any pastel demo video, I'm going to put this piece, and then if you've already heard it, then feel free to skip over it. But I wish I had thought about it. I would have put it on last week's video, but anyway, I will put some links below if you want to read up on it some more. And like I said, if you know of other products out there that are AP certified or certified as not having any, even a minuscule amount of these potential chemicals in them, let me know. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys what I learned and let you make your own decision from there, but you're not going to be able to make a decision if you don't know anything about it. So just something new to teach you today. But anyway, let's get to the demo. Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. I come to you with a actual demo video. I had thought, my plan was I had ordered some Pebbles chalk. I couldn't find either one of the other sets of Jane Davenport right now. So I had ordered some Pebbles chalk. That was recommended by somebody. And my plan was to use those today over marker. I don't think they will be here on time. I'm recording this on Monday. So I actually remembered I had pastel pencils. Now these aren't pastel colored pencils. These are like pastel based pencils. And I have a little 12 pack of Derwent pencils. So I thought, let's make it a pastel kind of month and color another page, and we'll stick with Amazon printed books, and we'll do another Alexandra Franzese page from her newest one, Cute and Hoppy. And I'm going to color this in markers, and then we're going to use the pastel pencils to shade. And I thought this might be fun. This is also a good test for me because I am considering getting a bigger set, and this will work out really well to show me how much I like these. So here is the picture that we're going to color. I'll show it to you now. These are the markers I grabbed. This time I did try to go lighter, so you'll see a variety of Wise Brants, Ohuhu pastels. There's a Prismacolor. The Spanish orange is always a good light orange. Looks like I've got a Copic in here. I think that's about it. Yeah, so just a variety of markers, basically just trying to get a lighter tone on some of these so that the darker pastel really shines through. So we're not going to zoom through. I'm not going to show you the marker coloring part because really we're kind of focused on the pastel part. So I will see you in a moment with a marker colored page. Alright, so here is the page colored in marker, and it looks very cute as is. I would be happy leaving it this way, but I do want to play with these. So this is the Derwent 12 set of pastel pencils. I'm trying to find the top part of this tip. There it is. And I knocked all the markers off. So this is what the pack looks like. And these are all sharpened. I use my mechanical, it's a Dow 155. I use my mechanical sharpener for them, and they sharpen just fine without any issues. Here are the colors, just pretty much your basic colors. I didn't write down the names or anything. You just get basically one in every color, except you get like a light blue and a dark blue, a light green, and then like a dark foresty green. You get a sepia, a black, and a yellow ochre. I do wish there was a gray in here, but I guess if you use the pastel pencil light enough, the black one, it will kind of count as your gray. We shall see. There's also a white pencil, but obviously you can't see that on there. So I grabbed a couple tools to try. In the little makeup brush set, the variety set, I had this really teeny tiny brush that I'm going to try to use. I think that'll work well for what I'm trying to do. I'm also going to use these. They look like eyeshadow brushes, but these are the Soft It brand. Like they you buy these, they're labeled as blending tools in Amazon, I think, rather than just eyeshadow, because of the type of finish they use on them is very similar to these blending tools that you get. You can get like a variety pack of these things on there, like these little blending tools and stuff. So it's kind of more, I guess, a higher end rubbery texture. So we're going to take a crack at those as well. All right. So one thing I did do was, I can see some of the shading on here. Alexandra Franzese does do some subtle shading on her pictures. But one thing I did, and I'm going to go ahead and prop this up, was I took a picture before I started. That way I definitely could tell where the shading was in case it's too subtle for me here. So let me get that propped up. I don't think y'all are going to see that. And that's okay. Alright. Oh, one other thing I need. Uh-oh. Might have to go searching for them. I have misplaced both. Oh, there's one. I had 3 in here. I guess I need to order more. I don't know where the other ones went. I'm using one of these weird kind of half Michael Jackson looking glove with the pastel pencils on here. I already could tell just when I used the swatch that with them being pastels, they are going to smear quite a bit. This should help minimize the smearing on the picture. So, all right, we are going to start with, what are we going to start with? Let's start with the red because I may have went too dark on the red. Let's zoom you in just a bit here. There we go. So basically I am going to follow what shading she has set here, and I'm going to just go in with the pencil, and yes, I am correct. I should have used a lighter red because it's essentially the same red. You can see it a little bit. Was there any shading on that petal? No. So what I'm going to do along with that red is bring in the black. Just very lightly add that in to the red I just put in. Alright, so we've got a couple ways I can blend these. Let's try this little tiny brush. Ooh, that's messy. Works though. So basically I'm just lightly brushing over where I put in the pastel just to soften it. Basically just kind of dabbing at it. And there you go. So it is subtle. What I probably should do is the black first and then the red over it. Let's try. Instead of using the brush tool, let me try one of these little eyeshadow tools. I feel like that's going to be a little easier to manipulate on this page. You could also just use your fingertip if you like, but that's going to get real messy real quick for me personally, so I'm going to just use tools for it. And then just kind of rub it out to soften it up. And there you go. Again, pretty subtle, but that's okay. So let's switch to the purple. Now, I know I picked a lighter color for the purple, so let's see what happens if I just use the purple pastel pencil. Now, these are going to be dusty, but that's to be expected because they are pastel and not just your regular wax or what's the other type? Oh my goodness, oil based. There you go. There you go, Michelle. Just took you a minute. I'll add a little more. Add a little more shading. Let's see what we get here. As always, I'm stating I call these demos because I am in no way, shape, or form an expert in using any of this. And so I wouldn't want to call anything I do a tutorial. I've never used these pencils before, so this is, I am just trying them. We're going to have successes and failures, but you guys get to try them right along with me, and I guess figure out what not to do. But yes, complete novice trying these. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like that very much. I probably should be putting just a little bit more color down. I have been going rather light-handed because I tend to go the other way, and I tend to be really heavy-handed. So that's maybe the one thing so far I need to work on, is maybe putting a little more of the color down. There we go. That looks really nice. So yes, I just need to be a little more forceful with my shading. Well, I'm used to colored pencils where you can erase it, but depending on the type of color, it could also leave a bit of a stain behind. And this would also be a great time to have like a big makeup brush to brush it off. I'm just going to end up blowing the stuff off as it crumbs. But I would recommend a big makeup brush for that kind of thing. I just don't happen to have one nearby, and I am feeling particularly lazy today. A Q-tip would probably work really well if you don't want to splurge on these little soffit brushes, eyeshadow type brushes. For the small work like this, a little Q-tip probably would work just fine. Actually, my original plan was to use a Q-tip, and I just felt lazy. I want to get up and go get them. Okay, yep, that one looks a little better than the other one. So let us, and again, if you add too much, you can always go back in and erase it. That is one of the, what I was saying, one of the beauties of pastels is that they are very forgiving. If you add too much, you can always go back in and fix it. A lot easier than you can with other mediums. So you can see it does crumb up quite a bit, so just be prepared for that. If I blow it off like that, I mean, I haven't used very much yet. It doesn't seem to be messy. You don't see me use pastels much, or at least you haven't in the past, and that is because I had some really expensive pan pastels, which I still do, that I was kind of scared to use because I didn't know how to use them. And then I had the Munyo pastels, which are nice, but they are the little rectangles that you have to scrape with a little knife, and you have to scrape them on the paper, and they can be rather messy. And like more so than the last couple of things of pastels I've tried, and so it would make such a mess on my desk that I didn't particularly like using them, which is why you haven't been seeing me use them very much. However, these in the Jane Davenports have actually been quite nice, in that they don't leave a lot of mess. Alright, so this is like a forest green. Gonna mostly, I think, go with what she notes is shaded, but then also add in a little bit of mine as well. Like I said, I should be a little more a little more free-willing with these than I had been. Alright, so let me grab another one of those little tools. Basically, I will use one, consider it dedicated to that particular color, and then the other side will be used for another color. So I can basically, for this set of 12, I'll just need 6 of them. And then, of course, I can wash them when I'm done. So that looks really nice. Really nice. I am digging these, y'all. I like the little cake pastels too, don't get me wrong, but these feel like I struggle. I prefer to be like really in control of my coloring stuff. And uh and see, I guess if you accidentally smear some, you can just rub it out. What was I gonna say? We'll start on the rabbit while I say this. And there's not really any huge amount of shading on the ears right here, but we're just gonna make some. Add a little bit around the edge. Generally, I either go by what you would consider, you know, shading, proper shading, or I just do something like this to outline it, to give it a little bit of just, I don't know, just a little bit of extra. I think it when you, sometimes when you outline sections like this, it just adds a little extra, I feel like, to the picture, a little more detail. I think it's quite nice, so I like that effect. Some people don't, and that's okay. See? Isn't that pretty? It looks really nice. I am trying to challenge myself to be a little more loose with my coloring. I generally like to do like this, where these pencils give me a lot of control, like watercolor pencils do. And I probably used too dark a color here. Darn it. So, what would be the answer here? Would it be... Would we want to go with the brown? Let's try the brown. Just very light. Very light, and then I'm gonna go back over it with the yellow ochre. I should have went with a lighter color for the rabbit. I think I used mustard from Copics. I thought it was going to be light enough compared to the actual yellow ochre from Copics, but apparently it was not. So, you live and you learn. Okay. And again, with a 12 set, you are a little limited in your colors, so this is where you get to play around with blending. I'm just not super... I don't feel like I'm super knowledgeable in my blending capabilities. So I have to kind of just play. At the end of the day, it might just be better off to come in here with a light black, or like use the gray. I don't know. It's an interesting look. I don't know if I like it or not. It's hard to tell. Think. Yeah, jury's still out on this combo. Feels like it's more... Let's try it right here and see what I think. Yeah, I think it's alright. Ideally, I would probably want it to be not quite as brown, but I am not I have not played with these enough to truly be able to figure out how to do what I'm trying to do here. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think that's good enough. Yeah. We'll just call that good and go from there. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. And let's try the bow. Maybe that would have been the ticket. Maybe I should have added a little bit of orange to it. I really should have made this bow blue in retrospect, but... Now, I may have to get a Q-tip for the outer edge that I want to do, because I have a feeling I'm going to want to be precise, because I'm not going to want the other colors to end up mixing with that blue that I'm going to put on the edge. Let me make this a little bit thicker line. Again, I don't know why I'm being so nervous about the pastel. Like I said, it's one of those things that it's probably one of the most fixable type of tools I have to color with. So if I'm going to be crazy experimenting with stuff, this would be the ideal one. There we go. That's better. It's still a little hard to see on camera, but it's there. Yeah. Cool. So, what I'm going to do is, well, let's try one of the chicks. Let's try a chick. I wanted to try a few different parts of this so you guys could see. And then speed it up while I go ahead and finish shading everything in. I'm just being very aggressive with this yellow. Very aggressive. So, yeah, I think it's some of these, the really, really tiny spaces, even this eyeshadow looking tool is too big. yeah, I see it. Camera's not really picking it up. It's like super bright. Well, that's no fun. How about this? Let's do very light addition of orange here and see what I get. Will it be a disaster? Yeah, yeah, it makes it a little more visual, a little more. You ever, like, I tell y'all, last month it just felt like everything was clicking in terms of coloring. Like, I was putting stuff down on the paper, and for the most part it was doing what I wanted it to, and I was like really pleased with how everything was looking. And when I've had time to actually do some creative stuff this month, like, just doesn't, I've lost that ability. I've really been struggling. I just can't seem to find my groove like I did last month. Seems like everything's a lot harder than it needs to be. Okay, it's still really subtle, but it's there. And then let's do a piece of the grass, and I'll show you a little bit of the outline, and then actually we need to do the pink too. Here, let's do that one. So I wanted to try using the red and then the white for this pink. Again, I don't recommend doing what I'm doing because I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm just playing around basically. Seeing what I can do with just 12 colors. Well, I think that did pretty good, actually. That pretty much gave me what I was looking for. Excellent. We'll do the blue. So really the only color I'm not using is this really dark blue. It's like a Prussian blue. Oh, actually I am going to use it. I'm going to use it on the eyes. So let's go ahead. I did this light blue outline. My plan was to come through with the pastel pencil, and then, like I said, I might have to go get a Q-tip. Maybe this is where this tool will come in handy. Rub that off. I was basically trying to brush it away from the edge, just to give a little bit of a softer edge. Well, I don't know. I'm not. That tool is not doing what I need it to do. Here. It's doing what I thought it would do. It's just kind of smeary and not really what I wanted it to do. Let's put a little more here. I'll just do it all the way around the ear. Now, what I probably will do, like I did in the Jane Davenport picture, is I will come in and erase some of the areas that I feel like need to be erased. If I feel like it's dulled the line art too much, I will probably, yeah, It's, again, the name of the game here is apparently, I can see it, but y'all can't really see it. um, I will probably sorry, I lost my train of thought. It'll get here in a minute. If need be, I will go back over the line art with my black pit pen. There we go. There we go. That's what I want. I just need to be really savage with the pencil. Okay. Anyway, alright. So what I'm going... Oh, grass. Yes. This last one. And then I will speed it up and you guys will see me finish out this picture. Like I said, I will probably... I'll do some, cleanup with the eraser. I will look at it when it's done. If I feel like I'm trying very hard to stay out of the line art, but if I feel like it's dulled the line art, then I will do like I did with last week's picture and just outline it again in the pen. And I don't know if this picture needs any stickles or... I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't think this picture would need anything sparkly. I know that's shocking. Alright. There's gotta be one more. There we go. I do wish I had a gray. I feel like if I had like a light gray to go along with this pencil, it would give me a darker look. I wonder, what if I tried the Prussian blue instead of the black? Because it really just feels like it's almost too subtle. I can see it, but if it's not even like you can't even see it on the camera, it's kind of like, well, that's not very helpful for a demo now, is it? If you can't really see what's happening. So let's try the dark blue and see what that gets us. Yeah. Here, there we go. I think part of it is the lighting in my room this time of day is extra bright. Okay, you can see it a little better that way. So the blue might be the way to go there. I'm just learning right along with y'all. Alright, so I'm going to speed this up. We've spent about 30 minutes playing around, so let me speed this up and finish up the picture, and then we'll do final thoughts. So here we are with the finished picture, and I really, really like these pencils. Like I said, my biggest thing, I didn't particularly like the colors I used for the lighter brown on the rabbit, but overall, I think it still came out really well. Actually, I just forgot to realize I forgot to do something, so y'all get to watch me do it, because I'm going to be lazy, and I'm not going to go back in time and try to fix this. So, where's some red? There it is. All right, good enough. And yes, but overall, I was able to kind of learn as I go how to mix the colors and really, really make this 12 set work. Work hard for its money, I guess. Work hard for the money. And anyway, and I just dropped one, which probably isn't very good for them. But as you guys saw, I did have a layer marker and then, use the pastels for shading. Typically, I would do marker and then use pencil for shading. Now, what I liked about this probably, I don't know, the grand scheme of things, was it more time consuming or less? I don't really know. It did take a little time, of course, to put the pencil down, then I have to go back and blend it. But I get such a nicer blend with the pastel pencils compared to just putting colored pencils over it, especially on this Amazon textured paper, that I think even if it took a little extra time, it's kind of worth it. I still don't think I won't stop using pencil over marker, but the times that I really want it to blend, like here, I think this is where the pastel pencils are going to become a favorite. So yes, and like I said, I was able to make this 12 set, do quite a bit for this page. Now, am I just going to keep the 12 pack and not buy a bigger pack? Yeah, no. I am lazy, and while I don't mind using them to blend every once in a while, I it, I don't know. I just would prefer to have a bigger set with more options. And I thought about just investing in a 24 or 36 set, but I don't know. I may just hold off. My birthday's in May, and I may just hold off and ask for like a big full set for my birthday. Possibly the Faber-Castells or the, what were the other ones I was looking at? I liked the Derwents. They actually did pretty darn good. So maybe the Faber-Castell or the Derwents. I'm not really sure. If you have experience with both of them and have learned anything from using the sets, feel free to comment below and let me know. I guess I could get a small set of the Faber-Castell and try those. I think they sell a 24 pack of those I was looking at, but I really would just like to get a small pack. It's hard, because you're like, well, do I just get the whole set or do I get a small set? Anyway, I really like these. I think I will still be using, of course, the Jane Davenport and the like the Pebbles chalk and stuff as well, but this is just brings a whole new level of shading options for me, for books, I think. And these pictures are perfect for it because I want to do a little shading, but I maybe don't want to do a whole lot. Now, a couple things you guys saw, and then I'll wrap up. Some of the spots were really too small for these, and I could tell that some of the other color from around it was kind of mixing in. So I did go and grab my Q-tips right in the middle, and you probably saw me using those in some of the smaller spaces. I think using the Q-tips is probably wiser in the smaller space, and those seem to work pretty well for me. But these overall are probably going to be my main workhorse because they cover fairly big areas. I was even able to expand from initially, I was just going to go around the edges of the picture, but then I was like, well, why don't I just go ahead and fill in the whole area because there wasn't much left.
And so what I did to, instead of scribbling the pastel pencil on the paper, was I scribbled it on this old Caran d'Ache palette I have that's kind of uh, grit rough on one side to, pull that down, and then I was able to pick it up with the eyeshadow brush and finish out like that. So that worked really well too. Um, in most other cases, what I would probably do on the edging like that is use like a Pebbles chalk or a Jane Davenport. I just wanted to try these out across the board so you could see how they did, and I think they still work as a background as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I am pleased that I thought of these, and I am so happy I finally used them after having them all this time. Um, and if you guys would like to see anything in particular, let me know and I will figure out a good time to do that. What I will probably do next Tuesday is do the Pebbles chalk, and depending on, I've got to look at my pan pastel colors. I think I had bought a portrait set, which means they're mostly skin tones. We may try the pan pastels and then try like a picture with an actual person in it for the next one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I gotta say, so far, I like them both for different things. The Jane Davenport pastels were very quick to use compared to these, but I feel like these give me the shading that I'm looking for when I add pencils to a marker picture. So it really just comes down to what you're looking for and adding and using different things. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will be back on Friday with a flip through. I don't think it's going to be new releases, but it's going it's going to be new books I bought recently, but maybe not new releases necessarily. And then maybe a live stream on Saturday or Sunday. Have an idea for a picture I would like to do and record ahead of time, because that way I can actually just freely talk during the live stream, and this wouldn't be a giveaway or anything. It's just a casual live stream, which I know it's been forever and a day. Thinking about it, if the week goes as quiet as I hope, cross your fingers, we might try to shoot for that. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you liked the picture, and I hope you are having a good start to the week. Thanks. Bye for now.